Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Evangelical Alliance Ireland. I'm Nick Park, and last Sunday I shared in our Take 5 a great Christmas quote from the French reformer John Calvin. And today I want to bring a quote from Timothy Keller. Now, Tim Keller, the late Tim Keller, he was the founder and pastor of Redeemer Presbyterian Church in New York, and a great communicator of the gospel. And he wrote a book about Christmas called Hidden Christmas, The Surprising Truth Behind the Birth of Christ. If you want to get a good book about Christmas, that would be an excellent book to get. But listen to some of his quotes. He said, Jesus, is a light for us when all other lights go out. And another one of his great quotes is about Jesus being born in a manger. He says, the manger at Christmas means that if you live like Jesus, there won't be room for you in a lot of inns. But perhaps my favourite, because it really sums up how truth and justice meet in the incarnation and the person of Jesus Christ. It's this. It says, listen to this, a God who was only holy would not have come down to us in Jesus Christ. He would simply have demanded that we pull ourselves together, that we be moral and holy enough to merit a relationship with him. A deity that was an all-accepting God of love would not have needed to come to earth either. The God of the modern imagination would have just overlooked sin and evil and embraced us. Neither the God of moralism nor the God of relativism would have bothered with Christmas. And so the very fact that we celebrate Christmas as we do is recognizing the fact that God is not just a moral force that demands that we be holy and pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. Nor is he a Santa Claus type of God that just nods and winks and says, sure, I forgive you because that's my job. It's okay. So he's not a God that doesn't care about justice, but neither is he a God who just demands that we be more righteous. The whole story of Christmas is that God recognized that we were sinners, that sin is real, that sin is awful, and that sin has consequences. But he also knew that we did not have the strength ever to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. So he sent Jesus. He came, more precisely, he came in the form of Jesus. He came as a man. He took on human flesh. So he was God and man, the second person of the Trinity, now become Jesus Christ, the Son of Mary. The Son of God became the Son of Man and became the Son of Mary. And this wonderful incarnate God dealt with our sin problem by taking our sin upon his shoulders, so that the price for sin was paid forever on the cross. And by that, he brought the forgiveness. It wasn't cheap grace. It wasn't easy. It was something that cost a tremendous amount. That's why Christmas is necessary. That's why he had to come down and be born in human flesh. And because he has done that, it's, if that was the Christmas message, if that was the gospel message in itself, that would be amazing. But it actually goes beyond that, because once he has forgiven us of our sin, he then imparts to us his Holy Spirit. So a very big part of the Christmas story is not just God coming to us in human flesh in the manger, but also that God the Spirit would later be sent to enable us to live a life of righteousness and a life of holiness. And yet, we're never perfect. Our life will never match up with the life of Jesus Christ, but it will get closer to that standard of holiness as we continue to live for Christ. Because Jesus came not just as the answer to the guilt of sin, but he came as the answer to the power of sin. And that shows us who God is, it shows us what sin is, and it shows us who Jesus is. And that's what we celebrate at this time of year. And that's why I think Tim Keller's insights on Christmas are a blessing for you and a blessing for me this day. Join us again tomorrow for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Evangelical Alliance Ireland.